Hi, welcome to Toy Hill Studio. My name is Kendall Kessler. I'm going to do another demo painting. This time I'm going to do a bald eagle. Last time I did a red-tailed hawk. And in both of them I'm not really attempting to reproduce the bird. I am just, starting with that and then trying to do some very creative things with color. Don't really have anything that I thought about this, but I really haven't had any preconceived idea about what I'm going to do. Only thing I do want to do is to really have a strong light effect and to have a real strong contrast between the warm and cool areas. Now it's a rather intricate drawing here, so I'm going to be starting with a small brush and I don't know, probably sticking with a small brush and probably not going to be able to do a whole lot. I do want to get one layer in, but I bet I'm going to be doing a lot off camera, but I never know. We'll see. But I am going to try to just be really creative with the color. So a lot of people call that abstract. It's not really. If the drawing is basically the correct shape, then artists call it representational, even if colors are really wild and flamboyant. But I really like doing wildlife. As I've said before, my husband Clyde Kessler is a well-known naturalist. That's what I want to do, get some real greens going in there. Well-known naturalist in the New River Valley. If you put his name in Google, you'll be amazed at what you see. He doesn't even have a website, but he really is a very impressive naturalist, studied all his life. Doesn't have a degree in it. He writes poetry. His degrees are in English and history. But it's always been a very important part of his life. His maternal grandmother is the one that really got him interested into it, but I think it would have happened anyway. These little tricky areas, I'm just going to have to come back to them. Watch the time here. See what happens. But I really have always admired his intense interest and the fact that he has kept records all his life. He's uploaded, I think it's over 20,000 records to eBirds on Cornell, and he's just really an impressive person. I have to say that, even though of course I love him and I would say that, but I really mean it. He really is an amazing person. Okay, so far not getting much going on, very expressive, but we're gonna change that. There we go. I want to really do some things with the color. I did in the last one, not while I was working on the camera so much, but afterwards really got into some real zonky effects, and I was real pleased. And I noticed people really liked it too. But I never know. As I said with these, I'm just really just experimenting. I'm starting with a representational way things look. Subject matter, but then I'm just having fun. Not that I'm not serious about it, I'm always serious, but I'm just really having fun just doing colors that are just an expression. I know it's hard to explain. I spent many years trying to explain art to students at Radford University, and as I said before, I found the only thing I could really do was to make them do it, and to make them make the decisions that artists make. When they start doing that, when they're faced with all those decisions, and it's a whole lot more than drawing, then I think they start to understand what all artwork is about. It's all an arrangement by an artist. And even if it looks exactly like that apple, it's still an arrangement. Still a design of an artist. Okay, I'm starting to kind of like what's happening with these greens and stuff. That's nice. Last time I was like, God, is this ever going to be interesting? I just couldn't get into it. But this time already I'm starting to see some things I really like. Now I'm not getting that real strong light effect I wanted. I might have to get that in the next layer, but we'll see. But I'm getting some very interesting coloristic effects. And having a nice time. Of course, we all artists tend to say that, even though it's always very difficult. Nice time with my current architecture painting of the peaks of Otter Lodge. It's always a work. It's always not easy, but it really is coming along real well, and I do really like architecture. But as I've said before, it's really not so much what you do, it's how you do it. I mean, that's my opinion. And I don't have any big, great earth-shattering thing to say about the world. So I'm not into statement art, where the artist is really talking, using their artwork to proclaim something about the world, good or bad, usually bad, usually critical. I don't have that. I mean, there are a lot of problems in this world that I wish could get better, but I don't feel like that's my point as an artist. I don't think that's my place as an artist. A lot of artists do, but I don't. What I'm trying to do is to make things that are interesting visual experiences that are just hold your attention, make you look. And that's what I do. Boy, I'm really starting to like this. Yeah, it's turning a whole lot better than the last one. While I'm working on the camera. Last one I thought, even towards the end, it's like, I still don't like this. But this one's getting some really intricate areas. And even though I haven't got a background color, and as I've said many times, it's really hard to see what you've got until the white is gone, because white is all colors together, so it kind of overpowers everything you do. And I haven't even done that yet, and I'm liking this, so that's nice. Gives me a lot of hope that this one will really turn out to be special. And I'm just probably going to keep the outline that I've got in right now because it's such intricate work, and then just do that later. But I do want to get more of a light effect, so I'm hoping I'll have enough time. I've only been going like 7 minutes, so it usually takes another layer to really start to separate that out, or at least for me it does. So I'm going to get this first layer in, and then the background, and then see if I can't really separate it out in final minutes of the painting. And I want to do a lot with purple and really get an exaggerated warm and cool effect. As I said before, everything is warm and cool colors. It's just lots of times they are existing together so that they're kind of canceling out and looking like gray and brown, when actually it is both of them together. So artists, we tend to really get into that effect, especially when you're working with sunsets and things, because then you can really see it. You can really see the separation of the two. During the middle part of the day, it is just very difficult. I can see why people just look at shadows and say, oh, that's black or brown or gray, and they don't see the colors. But in the evening, you really can. And then, of course, if it snows, wow, you want to see warm and cool color relationships. Take a look at snow on a sunny day and tell me you don't see blue in those shadows. I wouldn't believe you. Okay, now I've got a lot of the intricate part done, so I'm going to get a bigger brush now and move along. I'm going to have this eagle landing on some rocks here. And I'm going to exaggerate the warm and cool colors in that too. Predator birds are so beautiful. They're so fascinating. One time my husband and I saw a red-tailed hawk on the road, and we had to get out of the car and get a look at it before it flew away. And that was fascinating because most of the time there are predators right above your head, but we don't see them that way because, they're up high and they just look like little lines or something. But when you can really see them, it's fascinating. And vultures, they're utterly fascinating. I love it when they land around here, and they do a lot, and I love to see what they really look like. And they're not ugly either. A lot of people have this idea of vultures are ugly. They're not. I don't think they're ugly at all. They're fascinating looking birds, and they're so important. It amazes me that a lot of people don't understand that. They're a very important part of our world. But some people don't. It just really amazes me. I know around here a lot of naturalists have tried very hard to get people to see how important they are. And one naturalist has one, he calls it petunia. That's really cool. Call his bird is vulture, which a lot of people think was icky kind of bird. Petunia. Oh, that was real smart. Okay, now I don't think I'm going to like doing such a dark background. I don't know. Can always change it. That's the great thing about paint. Up to a point you can keep changing it. Now with oil paint, you can get it so thick that you practically have to carve into it to change it. And I have done that before. Right now I've gone back a little bit. I've decided to go more into the layers and to let it build up a little slower. And the second layer is not so thick. I usually go from a pretty thin layer to a pretty thick layer. But this time I am doing it a little more in a traditional thin to thick manner. Yeah, I think I like the bluish color better with this. I have a feeling this is going to really change a lot in the next layer as I try to really get that real strong light effect that I wanted to do, coloristic light effect, where it's really warm and cool colors. I forgot what I was saying. One person commented, how are you able to paint and talk at the same time? Well, I couldn't if I was working on that current painting of the Peaks of Otter Lodge, but this sort of thing I can. There, I like that better. Yeah, I like that better than the purple. I can do it because I'm just letting things happen and just enjoying the ride. I'll probably not do a whole lot more on camera. Once I get it filled in, I might stop there, wait for it to dry, and then go ahead and try to get more of that effect I was talking about. This one is very mild. I wasn't expecting to have such a mild painting, but it really is, for me, when I'm doing my real expressive type stuff. I have kind of a split personality when it comes to painting. Mostly I like to get pretty close to the way things are with my own design and my own personal decisions, but sometimes I like to really get flamboyant, really wild with the color, and to get a real strong expression that way. Okay. I don't know, I might just do just a tiny bit more with a smaller brush. And we'll just have this a short one. And then work off camera. I really do have to wait for it to dry to be able to do a whole lot more. And I would like to do more. I'm not sure exactly what right now, but I would like to get a little more expression going. And some more different brushwork. It's pretty tame. Well, I think I'm just going to cover up a little more of the white and then stop for now. And then see what I decide when it dries. A lot of people don't know that paintings are almost always done in layers. And it's one of the reasons I don't paint outdoors. Now some people do try to get it all in one layer, and that is just not for me. But the main reason I don't do that, as I've said before, if you've watched these, is that it's a different painting when you bring it inside. The light is completely different outdoors. And I want my paintings to be seen indoors. I don't want to have to take them outdoors for people to get the full effect. So it's just not for me to be what they call Prima Vera, right outside, just getting that. I would like to do a little more in the feathers up here, in the head area. Bring that a little more before it dries. Didn't get the expressive effect I wanted right through there. Maybe I can in the next layer. I wanted it to have more to it. Well, I think I will just stop there. And not that it's bad or anything, but I would like it to, as I said, have a little more expression. I'm not trying to really paint a document of a bald eagle. I am using that as a starting point and then trying to come up with something that is just really intense and more about the colors and more about the expression and the brushwork. Well, thank you for watching. There will be a link to the final painting, and as always there is a link to my website, my work on Etsy, and other sites.